Python Essentials 1 Module 2 test. Question number 1. What is the output of the following snippet if the user enters two lines containing 2 and 4 respectively? Okay, so x will be 2, and y will be 4 initially, and they both are integers. So x equals x divided by y, which will change the value of the x to 0.5, 2 divided by 4, okay? And then y equals y divided by x, 4 divided by 0.5, which will produce 8.0. It has to be a float because this is the float division, and the right answer should be 8.0. Next question. Which of the following statements are true? The star operator uses right-sided binding, and this is correct because this is the exponentiation. The right argument of the modulus operator cannot be 0. It cannot be 0. This is the correct answer because modulus operator divides by the second argument. The result of the division operator is always an integer value. This is not correct because this is the float division. Addition precedes multiplication is not correct either. Which of the following variable names are illegal? That has to be this one, true. This is reserved for the Boolean true value. And the AND keyword. This is reserved for a logical AND operator. What is the output of the following snippet? Okay, we have a sum of more prioritized operations. It has to start with 1 divided by 2, and this is the float division. This should produce 0.5. 3 integer divided by 3, that has to produce 1. And 4 to the power of 2, that has to produce 16. And then we add all these together, and we should get 17.5. So 17.5 should be the correct answer. What is the output of the following snippet if the user enters two lines containing 3 and 6 respectively? Okay, so this one is interesting. We need to keep track of what type this value or these variables will be. X will be 3, but it will be a string of 3 because we don't have any type conversion here. An input function always returns a string. And y will be 6, but this will be the number, the integer number, because it's converted. And x multiplied by y is actually the string duplication operation in this case, and that has to produce a line of 6 strings like that. So that has to be the correct answer. The 0 prefix means that the number after it is denoted as. So this is the octal denotation. We also have the hex denotation, OX. We also have the binary denotation, 0B. But this one is for octal. Very rarely used, but it's available. What is the output of the following snippet if the user enters two lines containing 11 and 4 respectively? Okay, well, again, we'll need to keep track on my variables. And x initially is 11, and this is an integer number. And y is 4, and it is also an integer number. So what we do, we take the remainder from the division of x to y. So 11 divided by 4 equals 8 with a remainder of 3. And then x should be equals 3 after this operation. Then x, again, the same operation, but the x has changed. So this will be 3 divided by 4. And the remainder from this division, well, the result of this division will be 0. And the remainder from this division will be 3. So x will remain as 3 here. And then finally, y equals y modulus x. And 4 divided by 3 is 1 with the remainder of 1. And then we print the value of y, so that value will be printed. I believe the correct answer here is 1. The result of the following division, 1 divided by 1, because this is the float division, then the result will be float as well. It has to be equal to 1.0. Left-sided binding determines that the result of the following expression, 1 integer divided by 4 multiplied by 3 is equal to. So these operators, they are of the same priority, right? So we should go from left to right. 1 divided by 2, and this is the integer division, will produce 0, and 0 multiplied by 3 will produce 0. And because all operations here are integer, then the result will be this 0. This is the integer 0, not the float 0 over here. What is the output of the following snippet? Okay, so we have x and we have y, and we will also have z. X equals 1, y equals 2, z will be equals to 1, to x, which is 1, so z will be 1. X equals y, so x will change its value to 2. And y equals z, y will take the value from z. So, yep. And we print x and y. So we print 2 and then 1 with a space between them. And that has to be this answer over here. 2, 1. The meaning of the keyword parameter is determined by its position within the argument list. So this is the argument list when we call a function, right? And there are positional parameters and keyword parameters possible. Keyword parameter doesn't derive its meaning from the position. These are exactly the positional parameters. The argument's name specified along with its value, and I believe this is the correct answer because the argument's name indicates which parameter it is, right? Its connection with existing variables, its value. So this is the correct answer here. The star operator, this is the power to the power of operator or exponentiation. And this is the correct answer. It performs exponentiation. What is the output of the following snippet if the user enters 2 lines containing 2 and 4 respectively? Okay, let's again track the values. So we have x as 2 and y as 4 as integers. X equals x integer division by 4. So 2 divided by 4 in integer will be 0. Okay. And then the next operation is y divided by x. So 4 divided by 0. You cannot do that. You cannot divide by 0. This will cause an error. So the right answer should be the code will cause a runtime error. What is the output of the following snippet? Y equals 2 plus 3 multiplied by 5. So we have to note the point here, which means this 5 is a float value, which makes the whole expression value altogether a float. So 3 multiplied by 5 is 15, plus 2 is 17, and that has to be float. So this will be 17.0. What is the output of the following snippet? Z equals y equals x equals 1. So it is perfectly legal to do things like that in Python. So this will set all these 3 variables to the value of 1. So it will print 1, 1, 1 with the star kind of separating them. This answer over here, 1, 1, 1. The value 20.12 times 10 raised to the power of 8 should be written as. Okay, this is an interesting question. 20.12, let me try actually to kind of write it. 20.12 times 10 raised to the power of 8. Okay, so this is the scientific notation. The same could be written as 20.12 E8. And this could be capital E or small e as well, I believe. So let's take a look. This looks like a correct answer. And yeah, the only other one which kind of makes a little bit sense is this one, but you cannot use float as the indicator of the to the power of. There is the float part, and there is the kind of exponentiator, whatever, part. So that has to be the right answer. Okay. The print function can output values of any number of arguments, including 0. That looks valid to me. Any number of arguments excluding 0, no more than 5, just 1. Okay, so this is the correct answer. You can put multiple arguments there and separated by comma, and they will be printed separated by space by default. And if you do not put any arguments to the print function, it just prints a new line. What is the output of the following snippet if the user enters two lines containing 2 and 4 respectively? So x equals 2, y equals 4, and they both are integers, so just numbers. X plus y means 6, so this will be just 6. The /n digraph forces the print function to this is the escape character n, and this is the character for new line. Stop execution, output exactly 2 characters, not correct, not correct. Duplicate the character next to the digraph, no. Break the output line, yes, it just creates a new line, breaking the output line. What is the output of the following snippet if the user enters two lines containing 2 and 4 respectively? Okay, so x in this case will be 2, but it will be a string because there is no any type conversion here, and input always returns a string initially. And y will also be a string, but it will be a string of 4. And if these two strings are put together with a plus operation, this is actually not a mathematical operation, this is a concatenation. So that will produce a string of 2, 4. That has to be the correct answer. Okay, and that was the last question. Okay, we have one mistake probably. Let's review what was wrong, probably somewhere. Okay, this is correct. This all is correct. There is one error. Okay, let's take a look at this one. What is the output of the following snippet? I think, yeah, that's probably wrong on my side. 5 point is not a valid float, I think. So 5.0 would be a valid float, and 5 point is not. So this is 2 plus 3, and this will just throw an error. So just this line. Well, let's just double check this in the sandbox. 2 plus 3 multiplied by 5. So y equals 2 plus 3 multiplied by 5 point. Okay. So this actually works, and this is interesting. Let's see what it calculates to. Okay. What was my answer? 17.0, and it's 17.0. Why is this wrong? Y equals 2 plus 3 multiplied by 5 point, right? 2 plus 3 multiplied by 5 point. I'm doing exactly this, right? I think so. Okay. Oh. Now I see it. Okay. Now I see it. It's a catch. A little bit of catch. So this is the small y, and this is the capital Y, which I did not see somehow, whatever, right? So this will cause an error because this variable is not there. So yeah, okay, you need to be a bit careful when you look through code examples in your test. So this should be the correct answer.